7, Mike Evans, set it and forget it, the Ronco Grill of fantasy football. He's going to have 1,000 yards. He might have 10 touchdowns. He might have 5, but that's what you pay for. He has to be on the top 12 list, especially because of Bruce Arians. Amari Cooper will do his thing even more maybe this year with more chemistry with his quarterback and without Zeke. Big question mark puts him on this list. Keenan Allen's going to hate where he is. I just like the other guys a little bit better. This might not be it. This might be trash, but you can tweet me about it, Keenan Allen. Antonio Brown and Juju was really hard and interesting to me. I love Antonio Brown. 15 touchdowns last year. He still has it, even at his age. I just feel like I don't trust completely that Derek Carr is going to put him in those situations, that Gruden, that this offense is going to look like.
A lot of change.
Yes, a lot of change, so I don't know if he's going to live up to that potential. Instead, the target share, those 15 touchdowns mean Juju Smith-Schuster is going to catch more touchdowns. And if he has the yards and if he can be a serviceable wide receiver one with a quarterback who I trust more than Derek Carr, I have to put Juju, as far as production and numbers, over Antonio Brown. I'm sure that'll be controversial.
Sure.
So is this guy. T.Y. Hilton gets no respect in fantasy football. And this is a guy who we've seen lead the league in receiving when Andrew Luck's had a healthy year. Yes, Andrew Luck's dealing with a bit of a nagging calf injury. He might miss a few training camp practices. But if he starts the season like he ended the season last year, he is going to crush it. I'm talking about Andrew Luck, and the big benefactor of that is T.Y. Hilton. Guys, take a look. If I were to tell you that the final 8 games, the second half of last season, T.Y. Hilton led the league in receiving with 917 yards.
1,000 yards.
I don't think anybody would believe me. You've got a tight end in the mix here, and you've got guys who we love and draft really early. T.Y. Hilton, the one knock on him is that he doesn't catch tons of touchdowns.
Sure.
He's always hovers around that 6 to 7 mark. And I do know Paris Campbell's there. They bring in Devin Funchess. But I don't think Eric Ebron's catching 9 million touchdowns this year. So hopefully more of those go to my boy T.Y. if they start the first 6 games of the season like they ended them last year. And that's, of course, very possible. All right, here it is.
What's that 6?
6-1. Put Odell there. People think this is low, I'm sure. I don't know what you guys think. I love what Odell can do. I like the skill set of his quarterback. But I don't know if he's going to get that target share that he got with the Giants. There's a lot of mouths to feed. He's not the only show in town, especially in the end zone there for the Browns. So I put him at 6 for there. Tyreek Hill, of course. This is a guy who was top 3 when all is said and done in any scoring system last year. I wouldn't be surprised if Tyreek Hill does find his way into the top 3 with what he does and Patrick Mahomes throws. I put him outside the top 3 just because I expect a little bit of regression from Patrick Mahomes, not needing to score 50 touchdowns if Spags gets that defense together. Julio Jones, never a huge threat for touchdowns, but you can't not have him in the top 5 because of the yardage. And those mornings you wake up and you look at the highlights and you see he has a 250-yard game and you win your entire week, like you have to have him in the top 5. Michael Thomas, I have at 3. It's a PPR league. This guy had 1 million catches last year. He's going to do his thing. I expect him to be at camp with Drew Brees very shortly. And he sort of does it all. He doesn't have a ton of competition out there for targets either. Hopkins, I flipped guys, these two around all night long, all morning long. Who do I want first? I had to put Hopkins because I feel like he has a bigger track record. I feel like there's nothing he can't do. He'll catch it from any quarterback in any situation. He's going to have touchdowns. He's going to have yards. He's got Deshaun Watson. They address the offensive line, so maybe his production even goes up. I can't steer away from Hopkins, but you can certainly take Adams over him. Adams is insane. Like, no one out there that played fantasy football last year can say, but there was that one game, K, where he really let me down. He had the most PPR games with 16 or more fantasy points last year. 15 out of 15. He only played 15 games, so when he was out there, he was basically giving you double digits, almost 20 points a game. Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, they didn't really sniff what Adams did. He is a red zone target. He lives in the red zone, and I don't care about the new additions, the new coaching, the new anything. He's going to look at Devonta Adams in his way. I was surprised, Nate, that I had him this high, but when you look at the numbers from last year, you can't not put him there.
He's a beast, 100%. I got a question about a couple of guys from my former team, the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I made the mistake by putting out a top 10 list a couple weeks ago, and I left out Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. And Kay, it's literally killing me inside because I thought to myself, how stupid am I to not put a guy in Adam Thielen who put up over 1,100 yards and 9 TDs.
Yeah.
Same thing with Stephon Diggs, 9 TDs, over 1,000 yards, both of them over 100 catches. So why didn't you put these guys in your top 12?
They're my favorite wide receiver duo in tandem in the NFL, both 1,000-yard receivers. As you said, I just feel like the Vikings are like waving a flag and giving us all the symbols and signs we need to know they're going to run the ball. The investment in the offensive line, Dalvin Cook, the draft pick of Madison. I just feel like they're going to give him more work at the goal line, and I don't see them getting as many. Honestly, what are they going to get? 10 targets a game each? I don't see that happening. Out of the two of them, though, who fall right outside of my top 12, I would pick Diggs, who I think gets helped by the run game getting going more than Thielen.
You know, my experience, you win fantasy with wide receivers with red zone touchdowns. It's not the 100 yards. It's like it's first and goal and a 2, and we throw it to the corner. Yeah. That's why I like Devontae, because he is a master of the toe drag.
Like 14, 15
He's
touchdowns.
Also, I still think his best football's in front of him. Like, this could be the superstar. That's why I like him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got the best quarterback.
I think he might be the #1 guy.
I like him at 1, actually. I think that's really cool.
Might need to change it, Kay.
I might have to change it. I mean, I just feel like there's something to be said about how I don't have a single question about Hopkins. They do have a new coach.
He's amazing.
Here. They have a new coach. They have other receivers that they're going to maybe want to get the ball to. They, you know, your boy, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, there's not a huge competition for targets, but there is a new coach.
Yeah.
This guy has done it with anybody. That said, Davante Adams has had double-digit touchdowns for the past 3 seasons.
Only player in football.
With Brett Hundley.
But Julio Jones did say he's going for 3,000 yards.
That's right. 3,000.
I think most people will grab DeAndre Hopkins, so then your value pick's going to be Adams, who might surpass him.
Yeah.
There it is.
Here we go. Have at it.
Good job, Kay.
Another one that's missing, but I don't have him outside the top 20. We'll get that later. Hit me up on Twitter at GMFB. Super Bowl champion, by the way, guys, hitting the show today.
Awesome. What's up, Malcolm?
Eagles Pro Bowler Malcolm Jenkins joining the show. And Kyle promised you a preview.
I did. What am I promising? Oh, yes, the top 100 tonight. Who's the best player in football?